So first of all, this is your first new album in 7 years.
Yeah.
I know you became a mom in that time, but
Yeah.
what else, caused you to take such a long break?
Well, I mean, it wasn't intentional, but obviously the pandemic. I got pregnant and I had my baby Violet, and then the pandemic happened. And I went on tour right before the pandemic and thought that I would get right back out there. Like, I really had goals to just keep going and not let motherhood affect me or impact my career. It was actually almost, I think, something that I had to heal from, of realizing like children weren't going to impact me in that way. But that is, for anyone who's had a kid, that is completely untrue. And you don't really have control over how it impacts your life. And so it just took time to heal, both emotionally and physically. And while I was on tour, I started to suffer from postpartum depression. So not only was there the pandemic to contend with, I was also, facing my own personal demons. I had my second baby, Sophie. I was writing right in between that time, like 2020, I started to really dive deep into writing this album and realized, like, okay, I have a lot to say. But little did I know it would take another 4 years to complete it. And I had to go through another struggle with my mental health after having Sophie. So it took a lot of healing to get ready to rise above where I had been and kind of find, what do I want to say right now? But I think that, honestly, I'm really proud that I took that time, because I've changed fundamentally, and I'm really ready to bring this message and this new music into the world, and I can stand behind the songs that I'm singing because they weren't written for other people. They were written for me, to help heal me in moments of terror and darkness and fear and rage and all the things that humans go through. And my hope now is that these songs on my album, I Am Rachel Platten, may be a vehicle for other people that they were for me, out of the dark.
Yeah. So you've been working on it for like 4 years, basically.
About 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when was it?
It's a long time. I admit it.
Because your last 2 albums came out like back to back.
But isn't that just the worst? Because it feels like they make you do that when you're on a major label. They just want you to pump out music. And I wasn't ready. I'm proud of the record that I released. I love Waves and I love the songs on it. But if I really honestly look back and think, like, was I ready to share how I felt yet? I wasn't. Because my process as an artist, I don't know about other artists or songwriters, I can only speak for myself. My process is I have to go really deeply inward and feel and kind of process the world around me and have my antenna and just do a deep dive before I can transmute it into art and before I'm ready to share. So it was too soon for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you experienced so much change between the two because Fight Song blew up, and then,
Right. And I'm a completely different person now. I was someone that 13 years in the making of traveling in vans and selling CDs out of my suitcase and sleeping in vans and playing in living rooms. That was my vibe before Fight Song exploded. I wrote Fight Song about not giving up on myself. It took 2 more years. Finally, it changed my life. And then, whereas no one had been paying attention and I was desperate to knock on doors, I finally had everyone's eyes on me. And how can you not be fundamentally different after that? And that, I think, deserved some time to sit there and process and honor, hey, Rachel, hand on heart, how do you feel now? Who are you now? What do you need? And I wasn't able to do that with so much attention on me. So I almost had to kind of crumble and fall away. I had to retreat and go inward, have children, heal. And like the rest of the world, we were forced to go inward. We were forced to get quiet. And so it was almost kind of a natural thing that I was echoing what the rest of the world was doing, just turning inward, looking at myself, looking at my own unhealed trauma and pain, and finding that fire again and making it organic so that by the time now I'm ready to bring it out there, I'm authentically ready and truly, I feel empowered to give this message again. But I think a couple years ago, I would not have been ready yet. I was still in it.